What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the #1 problem pertaining to truck drivers and their long-term success in their trucking careers. If you listen all the way through till the end of this video, this is going to really help you if you are looking at trucking as a long-term career or you're already in it. It's going to help you either way if you, like I said, listen all the way through, because I'm going to talk about what I believe to be the biggest problem and what stops people from actually having success in this industry. And so if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for being here. Please like the video, sub to the channel if you enjoy the content. If you don't enjoy it, you don't like me, dislike it. Either way, it helps with the YouTube algorithm if you do that, and I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to get straight to the point. So why am I making this video? Well, for those of you that have watched my channel before already, you know that most of my videos are me responding to comments made on previous videos. That's where a lot of my content comes from. Just about all of it now at this point is just people saying things to me. They're either asking me questions or they're making statements that I like to respond to. And this one was a... this was a very positive person. Like he does support the channel and everything. And he pretty much said, I'm a company driver. I have $160,000 saved up. I could go get my own equipment, but I don't want to. I just don't want to deal with the headaches of running a trucking business. And he did say, look, I support what you're doing and I like to watch what you're doing, but it's just not for me. And I really like that comment. I really like what that guy said. And I'm very happy to see someone saying that to me, because it's very true. Just because you're watching me or any other person, if you watch another YouTuber and they're an owner-op or a fleet owner, that doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Trucking, you can skin the cat of having success in so many different ways in the trucking business. And I like to harp on that on my videos all the time, because it's very important to understand that, starting a business in any industry isn't for everybody. It's not for most people. I would say 90% of people are better off working for somebody else, 100%, because there's so much risk in business. There is. It takes a lot of money. Well, 1, it takes a lot of education. 2, it takes a lot of self-discipline. 3, it takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time. You work a lot more when you own a business. I don't care if you own 1 truck, 100 trucks, or any other business. It doesn't matter what industry it's in. When you start a business and you're in the beginning stages of it and you're trying to grow that and scale that and have success, you are going to be working longer hours. You are going to have to know a lot more than just how to do the job, by the way. You got to know how to run a business. So, there's a lot of factors when it comes to starting a business. And what's my point? Why am I even saying that? Well, that person that said that, look, he has the discipline. He saved up $160,000, and most people don't have the discipline to do that. That doesn't mean that he can't be successful in the trucking business. He probably could be successful at it, but it's not for him, and that's okay. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. If it's not for you, don't do it. You can have success in trucking whether you own the business, own the truck, own a fleet, or your company. And I'm gonna get into all that. The purpose of this video is to make you understand that, look, when you get into trucking, or if you're already in it, you probably will have noticed that a lot of people, when you talk to different truck drivers or different people in the industry, they all have an opinion on what's the best way to do trucking. It's better to be in dry van, reefer, flatbed, oversized load, step deck, get your tanker endorsement, get your doubles and triples, do LTL, do this, do that. There's all these different opinions. Owner op is better, fleet owner's better. And the thing is there's no one size fits all. in anything in life. There's a reason why we have all these different divisions. There's a reason why we have local, regional, over the road. There's a reason, because there's a job for every type of person in trucking. There is. And if you don't like trucking at all, don't do trucking. You know, I mean, everybody has a choice as to what they like to do, what they want to put their money into, what they want to put their time into for their careers. Everybody has a choice. Look, I believe you can have success in any sector of trucking. It just depends on your plan. It depends on your goals, your plan, your work ethic, all that. And but I believe you can have success as a company driver. I believe you can get into trucking and get your experience, and especially if you specialize and all that. I believe you can retire a multimillionaire, very, very wealthy, just driving a truck for somebody else, not putting your money into a truck, and do that. You know, or you can go buy your own truck and be a one-man show. Some people want to just buy their own truck and that's it. They don't want to grow a fleet. They don't want to go to 2 trucks and hire drivers and deal with other people. They just want to own their truck and use that money to invest in other things, just like the company guy. You know, and then there's some people who want to grow a fleet. They want to build this big company and sell it in the future, or just build a big company that they own and make a lot of money. It all just depends. And again, what am I getting at? I'm getting at, figure out what your plan is. What do you want to do with trucking? That's why I said stay tuned till the end, because I'm going to get into this. There's all these different options. There's all these different opinions. And, you know, everybody has a different opinion. You need to know what your goals are. If you get into trucking, or you're already in it, but you're not getting anywhere, it's very simple. If you want to have success at something, you need to know what your goals are. What am I trying to accomplish with trucking? If that's not building a business in the industry, if that's something else, don't do that. Don't put your money in something you don't understand or you don't feel confident in. I've put my money into a trucking business, but I'm confident in my knowledge and my ability to be successful with it. That doesn't mean I may fail. There's a possibility that it won't work out. There is that possibility, but I'm very confident in my abilities and in my knowledge and my work ethic and everything to be successful at it. You got to figure out what you feel comfortable doing and what interests you. Some people don't some people don't want to deal with those headaches of owning a truck, even just one truck. I mean, it's a lot harder because you have to pay for everything on that truck. When something goes wrong, you got to pay for everything on that truck. I'm not deterring people from doing it. I think being an owner operator, if you do it the right way, can be a very profitable endeavor and very rewarding, 100%. And same with starting a fleet and growing a fleet. It can be very rewarding, but so can being a company driver, 100%. Now, if you just get into trucking and work and blow all your money and go into debt and buy all the things that most Americans buy, and you're over leveraged and on the verge of bankruptcy if you lose your job or you lose your truck or whatever, it's going to be a miserable experience. But as long as you manage your money correctly, either way, any of these routes I'm talking about, you'll be fine and you'll enjoy your career. And I'll get into the money part at the end. But, look, figure out what you want to do. This person that commented, I like that comment so much because this person knows that, hey, that ain't for me. And I respect that. Okay. He's not saying, hey, you're wrong for doing it. That's what most people say to me that don't want to do that. Oh, it's stupid to buy a truck. It's stupid to own a fleet. He's like, no, look, you're having success at it, but it's not for me. That should be the real response. If you think it's not a good decision to start a business in trucking, maybe it's just not a good decision for you. A lot of people comment and they tell me that they buy Bitcoin and they buy, crypto. I don't do that. I don't buy crypto. But if you're having success with it, that's great. There's people that have had a problem with me talking about, buying low-cost index funds, how I don't invest in single stocks. I don't buy single stocks. But if you want to learn how to do that and you understand it and you want to do it, I mean, I understand how to do single stocks, but I just don't mess with it. But if you want to do that, That's totally fine. You know, if that's what you want to do that. The point I'm making is figure out your goals. What do I want to do? Meaning you, anybody watching this, what do you want to do? Lay out a plan before you get into trucking, or if you're already in it and you don't have one, put together a plan. Get a pen and pad out and say, okay, I want to, and I'll just give an example. Let's say you're a person that doesn't want to own a truck. I'll just make an example for a company driver. Okay, I want to get my CDL, get my training, and I want to go work in tanker. Okay, well, you need to get your tanker endorsement. You need to go somewhere that trains you on how to do that job. And that will lead you to where you can stay in that niche of trucking, and you can actually make the real money in that niche. And then you go, okay, I want to get into tanker, I want to start doing that, and then I want to get my experience so I can make the real money. Tanker drivers can make $100,000 a year as company drivers, 100%. And there's a guy that watches me, Dirty Broke. If you've never watched his channel and you want to learn about doing tanker, go watch Dirty Broke. That's a shout out to him. He has a really good channel about that. He's absolutely awesome. So go check him out. And I want to shout him out because that's his niche in trucking. But you know, just as an example, you want to go talk to someone like that, right? If you want to learn tanker, you should go talk to someone who's doing that and having success at that. Don't come talk to me. I'm not in tanker. I'm not a company driver anymore. Right? Don't talk to me about that. Go talk to them. You can listen to my content. That's great. And I may be able to help you on the financial side. But if you want to learn that niche, go watch someone in that niche. And that's whether it's tanker or any other sector of trucking, doesn't matter. That's what I would advise, is how to get the money. Go find people in that niche you want to be in and go learn from them on how to get to the money. And you will, 100%. As long as you're humble and willing to learn, you will get to the money. But let's say I'm that person and I want to do tanker. Okay, you get in, you talk to the right people, you got into the right job. Now it's time to figure out, okay, I don't want to buy a truck. I don't want to start a fleet. I need to start figuring out what I want to put my money into. And I always suggest get completely out of debt. Save up a 6-month emergency fund, and beyond that, what you want to invest in after that 6-month emergency fund that you have saved up after you're out of debt, you know, that's up to you. You got to figure that out. I do low-cost index funds outside of trucking. I buy a globally diversified low-cost index fund. VTWAX is the ticker symbol for it. It's the Vanguard Total World Stock Market Index. That's what I personally invest my money in. But, you know, you got to figure out what you want to do. And whether that's real estate, stocks, single stocks, index funds, you know, is it crypto? Is it, what do you want to do? You know, figure that out. One person commented as well, and they said, look, you know, my focus right now is staying company and paying off my house. And then I'll go from there. That is a great goal. Getting your house paid off. You can do that. If you're making $100,000 a year and you're able to, you know, save 25-30% of your income, you could put that money towards paying down your house and owning your house outright after a few years. That's an awesome goal. See, I don't have that goal, but I think that's a great goal. If that's your goal, awesome. That is having success. You're working towards ownership of your first property or your primary residence. I think that's awesome. The moral of this story, the moral of this video is figure out what you want to do. Don't watch, I appreciate everybody who watches me, but just because I'm talking about what I'm doing, I'm not telling people to do what I'm doing. I'm just telling people about my experience and what I'm doing with my career. And I'm also trying to give some tips on things that I think anybody can apply to their career. Like I said, I talk in general terms, right? I like to talk about the money thing a lot, about getting out of debt, having an emergency fund, and then investing your money. I talk about that in every video because it doesn't matter what sector you're in, you can do that. You can do that as a company driver, owner-op, fleet owner, local, regional, over the road, any division, doesn't matter. That's why I always talk about that. And I'm very generic on when I say, hey, Figure out what you want to do. I don't tell people, hey, you need to do reefer, you need to do flatbed, you need to do this, because you can have success in all of those sectors, all the different, there's success to be made, man. Again, that's what I love about trucking. I love that about trucking, that there's so many different options that you have. And you just got to be smart about how you do it. So this person that commented is obviously very smart, obviously very disciplined. And there's a lot of people like that watch my channel, but that's what you need to do. If you're watching this video and you're on the fence about, well, should I buy a truck? You know, because everybody else is saying buy a truck. No, don't listen to them. What do you want to do? There's money in everything. And figure out what you want to do on your own. And whatever you want to do, go with that. And you can hear other people and what they're doing and what their opinions are, but stick with your plan. You will have more success in life if you stick with what you want to do and you don't let other people manipulate your decisions. Don't let people do that. That it's really bad. It's really bad for your mental health too, because, you know, another thing is, are you going to be happy doing that? Are you going to be happy owning a truck? Are you going to be happy dealing with drivers if you own a fleet? Are you going to be happier just being company and investing your money in a passive investment or buying real estate? What's going to make you happy? See, success to me is relative. You know, yes, financial success is important because we need to have healthy financial lives to survive and to thrive in this economy. We do. In the way the system is set up, if you don't have a healthy financial situation, you're not going to live a great life. It's just the way it is. But above a certain point of income and wealth, really, you know, your quality of life doesn't get that much better, to be honest with you. You know, I mean, if you're making $100,000 a year in most places in America, now in mega cities and everything like that, that's not a great income. But in most places in America, if you're making 6 figures a year and you're able to save 30-40% of your income, you know, and you're building towards retirement, you're paying off your house, you're having success. You're gonna have success over the long run. And what, you know, just enjoy your life. I'm gonna say that too. And I don't talk a lot about that on this channel, but I do believe that's important. You know, what's made me happy, and I'll just talk about myself. What's made me happy about starting a fleet is that it's challenging me. I did something that I was kind of timid about doing, but I'm so glad I did it. I look back and I'm like, man, I'm so glad I pulled the trigger on growing this fleet and investing my money in this, because I felt stagnant. I felt stagnant just driving and saving money. And yeah, I was making progress and having success, but I needed a new challenge. I needed something that, you know, I could grow, right? And not just grow is in terms of monetary success, but would grow me, grow my skill set, grow my interest. That's the way I've always been. If I'm not growing, I feel stagnant and I'm not happy. That's not everybody. And you can do the same thing, whether you're a company or not. You know, saving up to pay off your house, saving up for rental properties, investing in stocks, whatever. All of those things can be really great things if you focus on that and you do it right. Figure out, ending the video now, figure out if you're just getting into trucking or you're already in it, not having success, what do you want to do in trucking? What do you want to do with your money? It is that simple. And don't listen to everybody out there and let them pull you in 30,000 different directions. 100% don't do that. If you listen to this advice, you will enjoy your trucking career and you will thrive. You will have financial success on top of that. So that's my video for today. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys for watching. God bless. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.